Yo, it is cash at hand. This is the Mix Squad, and welcome to Mixsquadtv. This is Takin Thursday back, where we take Thursday back one Thursday at a time. Today on the show, we have past and current music news, pro tips, a quick mix, and more. All after this.
Getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. We getting into it. Getting into it. I'm getting into it. We getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. We getting into it. We getting into it.
Ooh, it's been a lot going on last several weeks. So we're going to always start off with this week in music history. On June 20th, 1965, Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde was released, becoming one of the rock's first double albums ever. On June 25th, 1967, the Beatles performed All You Need Is Love live via satellite on BBC's Our World, reaching an estimated 4 million viewers. Later commemorated as Global Beatles Day. That's 1967. Like 4 million people is crazy. June 25th, 1984, Prince released Purple Rain, which stayed atop the Billboard 200 for 24 weeks and won a Grammy and an Oscar. June 25th of 2006, the world mourned the passing of Michael Jackson at age 50, which was just yesterday. And now, with 19 years, it's crazy. June 26th, today, 1977, Elvis performed his final ever concert in Indy just 2 weeks before his death. So we got a few things that's in this week's news that before we get to the main topics that we'll discuss with the squad as I bring them here to discuss the topics we have tonight. We have a Christian rock band named Newsboy. They're dropped by Capital Christian Music Group because of sexual assault allegations by 3 men. It's some stuff going on where the guy had pretty much admitted to having some issues. So they dropped him from the label. It's just been a lot of sexual assault shit going on lately, y'all. Taylor Swift makes a surprise return on stage. She's surprised at a festival, came out, did her thing. This is her first return since she's reclaimed her masters on stage. We got to talk about the Fat Joe allegations. We got Boosie and Tootie Ray under federal investigation for gun charges. Again, like, Boosie, stay off the phone. We got Rock Nation allegations and the Diddy trial updates. So before I get into those things, let's go ahead and bring the squad on for the discussion today. What's up, squad?
What's good, everybody?
Feeling good, feeling good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Like you
So,
said, too many of these sexual things going on, man.
yeah, man, there's a lot of deviants out there right now. A lot of deviants with money. But
Yeah.
I'm not like super familiar of everything and all the details of the Fat Joe allegations, but from my understanding, it's all similar to everybody else's stuff. Like with Rock Nation, not like on the level of Diddy, but like allegations of sexual assault, allegations of mishandling employees, all type of stuff like that. With
running over somebody too.
Dang. See, I was like, I've been trying to, stay as fully up to date on what's going on with this Diddy situation, but like I haven't really fully invested into what was going on with Fat Joe. Any other information y'all know about with Fat Joe?
Besides him running somebody over. I forgot who he ran over, but they said he backed up and ran somebody over. I guess people don't learn from Suge Knight's situation, huh?
Yeah, man. So
I think the dude that is suing Fat Joe is somebody that sued him previously. I think it's
I did hear that.
Person.
I did hear that. I promise next week I'll do a little more deep dive. It's just that certain things been sweeping the nation, and like I don't know. I'm a little like on the fence with the Diddy trial, man. Like I don't really know what. I know for a fact that they have actually proven certain charges of federal offenses that he actually has committed. like going across state lines with drugs, going across state lines with sex workers, like. But I don't know, man. I think they done lost this jury. That's why I feel like, just to keep people up to date on what's going on real quick. This was a 6-week trial with testimony of about 34 different witnesses from the prosecution, from former employees, ex-girlfriends, law enforcement agents. And the defense chose not to call any witnesses and rested their case in a record 23 minutes, which, like, to me spells like a certain arrogance of like, y'all ain't proof shit.
And y'all help me out. Shit.
I'm not going to risk putting a witness up here that could potentially backfire when you haven't really did your job. I don't think that's how I feel about it. But I mean, and to some degree, let's be real, like with that decision, it's easier to make that decision when you getting crazy amount of money and it ain't your ass on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, as your defense attorneys, if that move don't work, they get to try another case. Somebody gonna hire them. They a high profile attorney. Like, it'll be, like a sour patch or whatever. But like at the end of the day, they'll be okay. They'll go take a cruise and get it out their system. And if it work, like, you know how known you'll be for the quickest closing time and just disregarding of the cases. Oh, he was just a freak. He come on, it's not a crime.
I know that some of those charges the prosecution minimized.
Absolutely.
So I feel like they just minimized it to what they felt like they did prove. And it's nothing that the defense could really defend because it's stuff that we already know.
And so they dropped attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking from the racketeering count. But think of it this way, though. There are still charges of kidnapping. There are still charges of arson. And there are still charges of sex trafficking. They got rid of the attempted, and the helping out. They still are saying to the jury, we feel like he sex trafficked, we feel like he committed arson, and we feel like he kidnapped. We just taken out the attempted to just narrow it down for you to focus on what he actually did. Now, whether they prove that or not, like, we're not in these court sessions. We don't get to see it. Some of these transcripts are missing. You know what I mean? Like, as far as certain information that we just don't even know about. You got Mia, which is missing in action, which is not her name. You got Jane Doe, which is not her. You know what I'm saying? Which we all pretty much know at this point is 50 baby mama. But allegedly, you know what I mean?
Right. But how would you feel if you was in his position and your defense didn't do anything?
It depends on how they spin it.
Yeah.
Like, if they spin it like it's you about to be a free man. Right. If they spin it like we know Trump about to pardon you anyway.
So just sit back and relax.
Take your humiliation ritual and you'll be about your way. Because sometimes that's how things work behind the scenes when you a conspiracy theorist like myself. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
But either way, he getting out. That's how they feel.
That's right. I'm sure that's how they spinning it to him. I'm sure they not crazy enough to be like, I'm not sure about this, but let's not call nobody up here. Not even you.
Dang.
No, I don't think that's going to sit well.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't say anything.
Right.
They could have called at least one person, his mom or somebody.
From the transcripts, they literally showed exhibits and specifically kind of alluded to he was just a kinky dude. He was basically a cuck.
That we know.
But that was like, that's how they tried to spin it to make it like, to summarize it. They tried to spin it to make it seem like this was just a freak show that liked to do some drugs. Like, I mean, they kind of made it to be, if you think about it, how I read it was to make it normalized to some degree, because we all, to some degree, not on his level, but know a motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying? Like on, there's some dudes I know that be in and out of the swinger parties, hey, like, y'all be doing some other stuff with y'all time. And if you normalize it, and you've been to college, you've been Hollywood, you've been around celebrities, they all do drugs. Like, this ain't, they're trying to, even though these are crimes,
but not federal crimes, though.
I mean, as far as crossing state lines with drugs.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
crossing state lines with a sex worker and paying them, that's prostitution, and that is a federal crime.
Right, but the majority of their case was basically based on the freak offs, which is not necessarily a federal time.
Well, I would say this. A lot of what was talked about was freak off. But if you comb through all, like, there's a lot of boring stuff. We talking about 34 witnesses, and we talking about hotel receipts. We're talking about showing displays of plane flights and paying for this, using the business card for this, using the, like, they were connecting that you were using your business, your enterprise, to conduct criminal activity, including sex trafficking, prostitution, and drug trafficking. And so it really comes down to how the jury sees it. Because as we talk about it, just with the three of us, it's like, hey, yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it over here, I can see it over there. Ultimately, it's pretty much gonna boil down to whatever side that jury is on. And they gonna hurry up and go to that side and get it over with, because everybody gonna want to be out here before the 4th of July. Ain't nobody want to be playing with Diddy like that.
They want some barbecue.
You feel me? Like if it's like 9-3, look, he guilty.
Like most people probably didn't form their opinion at this point anyway.
Right. But there's litigation within the jury room itself that we won't be privy to, that can, be kind of testy when people get to where, like, yo, man, can we come to the conclusion it's just two of y'all that disagree? You know what I'm saying? Because it gotta be Monday. It gotta be consensus. Man. Unless for federally, I'm assuming it's the same. I'm assuming they all gotta agree.
Yeah.
But we'll see, y'all. We'll see. As of today, it was closing arguments. We may get a decision as of this time next week. So stay tuned next week to see if we have any type of decision or anything that's going on with that. And so we got the clip of the week. You know what? I ain't gonna get no precursor to this. We just gonna go ahead and hop into the
Mix Squad clips of the week.
No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones, check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and the niggas trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entries.
Can I ask you a question, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
You smoke, right?
Yeah.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when we talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that bullshit. Listen, you can't F Nas lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look, I know you on that good stuff, but you're not seeing Nas. It don't matter.
Look at you.
Ain't nobody from Dipset gonna take you over Nas. Nobody from the Diplomats but you.
You see what I'm saying, Ocho? He don't even know about rap. He just doing this for the views to get Jim Jones on there to get him hot. I understand, but you don't know Nas lyrics. You don't know Nas.
You better check the podcast space. Now you better talk.
Sing 16.
Hey, this is the biggest podcast you ever been on. When you get big, you get invited to Club Shay Shay.
This is what I do.
Nas get invited to Club Shay Shay. Jadakiss get invited to Club Shay Shay. You not on that level yet, bro.
You and Shannon Shaw was going at it.
Shannon's a bozo, man. You heard? Country man is a bozo, man. NFL was the best thing that happened for you in your life, bro, because you was a bozo.
I think that would be dope, the little workout competition.
He don't want to get in the gym. He too old. Crickets. Yo, Jimmy. I break that 30 minutes.
Let's get into it.
I ain't had nothing to say on this one, y'all.
That's crazy.
I don't have nothing to say. Come on, man. Come on, Jim.
He said what he said. Then he backtracked what he said to come back and
move the goalpost.
That's where he lost me at.
Come on, bro.
I was trying to help him, but damn.
Let's see, verse versus verse.
But despite, I will say this. There was something I didn't put in the clip that would have been more of a credit to him. I should have did it because I was just sort of being biased toward the fact that he said that dumbass shit he said. But he did say, like, it's all the new way that you do this thing. Like, would we be talking about Jim Jones otherwise?
No. And it's like perfect timing because he got a song coming out.
That's what he was saying. And a little bit before in that same interview where he was talking about he'll out workout Shannon Sharp or whatever, he was saying, like, this is purposeful. It's leading toward me making more money because y'all going to listen to my music just to tell me it's trash.
Right.
Otherwise, we would just assume it's trash. Now you got people actually I listened to 3 songs today just to be like, refresh my memory again, because I swear to God he wasn't even the best of his own group.
You right.
Because I'm taking Jewels and Cameron over him all day.
Killer.
For sure.
It's just, we're not gonna spend too much more time on Jim Jones. It's just
we not.
We should have did our own little mini versus battle. That's what we should have did. So we could just let him know how we feel for real. Like, let your verse speak for itself, bro.
Now it has been said, Q brought it up, that he has a release party or listen party going on tonight in like an hour. You know what I mean? So if that's your MO for the night, go on ahead and find him. Check that out.
See what the song sound like.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, let me be a buck real quick. It's hard for me to get with young Negroes flexing a certain lifestyle. I can't get with it when you mid-40s. Like, stop. Stop it. Grow up, nigga. Grow up. Like, that be what I feel as far as just like, bro, it's just certain things. It's just, you too old for.
I feel you.
You too old for. Like, you can still come.
Man.
Because, like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm pushing 40. I can still come with, like, aggressiveness and whatever, all of that in my raps and all of that, bro. I ain't saying take away. Like, I ain't saying be a pussy. I ain't saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying you promoting a certain lifestyle.
Have you revolved?
You know what I'm saying? Because he even put out, like, I ain't put it out there. It was something he had put in the Shannon Sharp interview that where he was like, you remember what I had did to them back in the day? Like, I got down on Nas and them. Like, you seeing what's resurfacing nowadays, bro? You really want to go ahead and self-snitch and randomly have the feds up your ass just because you just told on yourself on a big-ass podcast? Because they've been looking for them niggas who did that. Like, they've been searching. And you just, oh, yeah, Jim Jones, he just admitted he did it.
Damn.
I'm just saying, man. So, like, we got to...
You don't hear other allegations.
Damn. Stay off the net with the shit.
Exactly. Stop talking.
Don't be specific. Don't be specific. Don't be, this was the person, this was the time frame.
Right.
Yeah, I used to get down. You know how I used to be. Like, be like how Jay was in his rhymes. He talk about the Marcy projects. It's just the projects. Like, it's like, I'm not telling you I went to apartment 42. It did what I did. It's just I was outside the projects and seeing what I see.
Right.
Anyway, y'all, we just gotta grow up eventually, man. Because, like, I swear,
Jimmy, stop smoking, Jimmy, for a minute.
Because I had seen what had got recently put out, I guess, a few months ago as videos, and it looked like he was trying to do the young man stunt on them.
Promo game, basically.
Yeah, you know how I be with especially the New Yorkers. You know how I be with the feather jacket. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, it was the starter jackets back in Chicago. Like, it's been a minute before the starter jackets was a thing. So, you know, I'm dating myself now. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We gonna move forward off of Jim Jones. We gonna give you a quick mix and go over what the actually we're gonna go over the pro tip, and the pro tip for the night is to find a way. Kiana know, cue the music know from today. You gotta find a way to get the original stems as best as you possibly can, if it is possible. It gives you the best chance to create the best possible piece of work, right? And if you get certain stuff that's already baked in, or you get vocals that's baked into the beat, now you got another vocal to add in, it could be problematic. But utilize each other. That's why we promote things like joining the squad, because you can have someone who may have Logic. You might have someone who has a Pro Tools available, or Studio One available, or whatever DAW that they're using, BandLab available, so they can just get those stems for you, take the plugins, just take the plugins off real quick, bounce it out for you, get you a couple WAV files. It don't take that long, especially if you just know somebody real quick. Or utilize free, trials. I know Logic got a whole little situation where you just your trial in, you just uninstall and do what you gotta do.
Now they gonna fix that.
They ain't gonna fix it, but they gonna fix it.
Hopefully not, because I need it for all y'all Logic people out there. So that's just something you want to just consider, because you never know what that person is using, and you never want to rely on the person to send you raw stems, because generally speaking, they just gonna print it how they have it in their system with all the plugins they put on that was wrong, which is the reason why you get in the mix now. Right. So before we go into the quick mix that kind of goes into what we just talked about, we're gonna actually go into a quick commercial break.
Up. I'm Q, the music from the Mix Squad, and I'm calling out all artists, producers, engineers, and music professionals. Do you want to showcase your music, tell your story, and connect with a growing community of creatives? Then come join us on Sunday Spotlight, our exclusive interview series on Mixsquadtv. If you're ready for your spotlight, hit us up on IG at Mixsquadtv, and let's make something happen.
Welcome back to another Mix Squad quick mix. In this quick mix, we're going to break down a track from Diesel featuring Frankie B, My Everything. And this is a part of a 20+ song project that we are working on with Diesel directly. And this should be out by the end of the summer. We will definitely keep you updated on that. Moving forward, this correlates with our pro tip, because our pro tip talked about getting stems, extracting stems directly from other DAWs to try to get the original form of the WAV file, so you don't have to rely on engineers to do the right thing, right? Because the right thing is to, hey, this project is getting transferred over to another engineer. Let me strip down or bounce out the stems without any processing. Let them have the original pieces of work with. But more than likely, I may be a little disgruntled. I may just be like, oh, you're going to give another engineer the project. And so I'll just simply send them, I won't take anything off or anything that, like, whatever I had already on there, they just got to work with. And that sometimes could be working uphill. So we try desperately to get the original stems if we can, whether that's BandLab, Logic Pro, Studio One. Obviously, we can take the Pro Tools. But yeah, so that was this mix goes into exactly what we were talking about. And so let's take a listen to what we have. This is and with this being the reference, another key point about this particular mix is that I did not have the ability to mix anything other than these vocals that you see here at the top. At the bottom, that's the beat, but the beat also has verses of a rap from Diesel that's already baked in. And so a part of this quick mix is just to focus in on, I know a lot of times when we get stems, we want to make them sound as pristine as we possibly can, which is ultimately what you want to do. But in this case, you have a track with someone else already on that track. And so you really don't want to have those vocals just completely outshine the vocals in the treatment that had already been done, because it'll just make the song disjointed. It won't make it sound like it's cohesive, and ultimately no one's happy with that. So it is more important when you already have something baked in to try to be sure that the vocals complement each other and correlate with one another as far as tone, volume, and etc. So let's take a listen to what we have. And let's take a listen to what we have, and I'll play it from a little bit of portion of the rap so you can see how that's baked in, and then we'll go into this hook, and then we'll go into what I did with it. Let's take a listen.
Never disrespect what it's worth. I'm talking trash and all, but it's the feeling I'm undergoing is different. The truest evolution and the movement that it's mixed with.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself, got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. Silence and sound. I've been through so much hurt that I would come around. You made it hard to love somebody else.
All right, so we get the gist. That is what we have to work with. So I'm going to mute this reference. We get the reference. First things first, what I had to work with is I'll start here at the B. I'm going to just collapse all of these folders here so we don't get distracted by them. Definitely, I would encourage, if you just really need an explanation on what you're seeing here and you're interested in learning the process of mixing, to join the squad so we can really just tap in with you and take you on the course of getting you to a professional level of mixing. And I dare to say under a year if you really put the time on task. But I had to go to this beat, and this beat is right here. And I had to pull that down about 4 dB because I just needed some room to work with. It was slamming. It was hard to mix that in when it's already mastered out. Cool. So we reduced it down. I'll talk about more what else I have here later. I also made an additional sub track that I actually want to bring down just a tad from hearing it earlier, to where it's adding a little bit more sub in the bass. Cool. So let's go into the vocals that I did. Let's hear. We heard what was. Let's hear what is now.
Going is different. The truest evolution and the movement that it's mixed with.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself, got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I've been through so much hurt, and think that I will come around. You made it hard to love somebody else. Ooh, you was my everything.
Cool. So we got a little more flavor. Brought the levels up, got some sauce. Let's take a look into with this in this quick mix. Again, just a quick rundown. We have our bus here. That is our hook bus. These are all the vocals that we had to work with. I just put them in a group called a hook bus. They're all going here so I can process them on this track here. That's being routed out to all Vox, which is here, which is going into the mix bus. Cool. And then we have even here these ad libs. All three of these ad libs go to this green one. And then they go to this one. And then they go to all Vox. Our Vox blends, these are sins that I put on top of after I process the vocal. Those are also going to meet here at the hook bus so they can be processed and blended in even more. And then outside of that, we have the effects bus, which just goes directly to the all Vox. So every vocal is meeting here at the end, along with the parallel compression, which is meeting here at the end of the vocal. Now that we got the routing out the way, let's take a listen to what we got here. I'm taking all effects, all blends, everything, even the processing on some of these buses here. There we go. And so now I'll even take that one away. and let's take a look or listen to what we have now. I'll just play a little bit of the hook just so we can see what we have with Nothing Again.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself.
Cool. And so now this compressor is really just put on here specifically to grab the peak. I am not trying to add any gain. I am not trying to, make it heard. I'm not really trying to do anything but snatch just the rogue peaks that go over 5.5 in the threshold as far as decibel levels. Why 5.5? In this case, that's just what I decided for the incoming audio on what levels it was coming in. I just wanted to snatch the peak. So it's not about the threshold number. It's more so about me looking at the input and deciding where are these rogue peaks and placing my threshold there. Let's take a look.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself. Got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Not really going to get much. It's getting up to a dB and a half of reduction. It's just snatching down on those peaks. There are certain starts to phrases if we zoom in, and you see there's plenty of editing done, and that is another quick mix that we'll do, how the importance of editing. But as you'll see, there are a lot of different edits that are done within all of these vocals, and some of these, as you get zoomed in pretty close, some of these starts of words can get pretty explosive. You see zoomed out, you see this one has a little jump up. Yeah, there's just a few moments where there's just a quick spike in the audio, and I just want to snatch at those so I can smoothen everything out a little bit later with a different type of compressor. Cool. So now let's take a look here. Not really need to listen. There's not much that's going to add to it. It's just making sure that if he is out of key, he's in key. We do it manually to be sure that every note is in key, and it's manual because as a singer, he doesn't want the auto-tune sound. So you got to be sure that you're doing it manually. Okay, and then we get into the EQ. Let's take a listen on the before and then after. Take a look at this button to know when it's activated.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself. Got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs.
So all I did here, I'll play it a little bit, is just give him a little bit more body while clamping down on it if it does get too loud. This is annoying frequency here I didn't like. And let me turn the beat off so we can really hear that.
Got this crushing of my heart. Wouldn't let me love no.
And this is just really clamping hard on any of those S's and T's, but not enough to where it makes it sound like a lisp. But I'm doing this now so I can clean up this area, because this is an important area for me to boost later. And I can't boost it unless I clean it up to where a lot of the is gone. So let's take a listen to what is getting removed. Cool. Moving forward, we have the smoothener, which is the 2A compressor. And let's take a listen to it on first, and then I'm going to cut it off as we listen.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself. Got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I've been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
Just smoothing it out, giving it a smoother compression setting. And then here with my multi-band compressor is where you'll see me just even more smoothing it out, but per band. And I'm really focusing in on these two bands collectively, just take a listen to what they sound like at the levels that they're at.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself, got this crushing of my heart.
So I actually, just want that to just be solid, just really tight. I just really want, because that's the middle of the song. I'll probably even, this area here, I may even deal with boosting it a little bit more higher than the other side, just because we did reduce some of that earlier. Let's take a listen what that sound like.
As I stand alone in this mirror,
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
Right.
As I stand alone in this mirror.
Cool. So we got even more smooth. It's all about cleaning it up, because that's all I did initially. That was my base starting point for pretty much anything I want to do next with that vocal, because now it's clean. Now I can create my sends, and every send that's getting anything sent directly from this lead is clean, and I don't have to worry about things adding up, build up occurring, things just sounding nasty as you start to stack and stack and stack. All right, so let's take a look at what this Vox blend and the vocal bus, and the effects bus all do now that all of these sends have been sent to them. And let's get a before and after of that. Let's do it before.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself, got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You see, I always tweak here and there, a little bit here and there all the time until I'm just really, really just 100% satisfied with every element of my mix. So you'll see me even now, because this is a live mix that we're actively mixing, that I'll be tweaking while we're doing this overview, this quick mix, because there's always something that can possibly be tweaked, possibly be tucked a little better. Like the work is never done. It gets to a point where the client's happy, then you just stop. Here we are, and we're gonna take a look into some of these other vocals and why they're there, because you saw that we only had whatever was in this reference, especially on this particular one. We dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vocals in total, and I'm sure there's way more than that. And so I'm actually going to slide it back to the first hook because it's a little less. We don't have to cover as much. And so I was really given 3 tracks to work with for the overall starting point of this hook. So if we want to isolate those, it's this hook lead. It would be probably this stab and this here. So if we played it just how we have it now, this is what it would sound like without anything that I added in additional.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself, got this crushing of my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that.
Right, and so it's just less energy. I know if that's all, like if I knew that that's all I had, that one that says stabs here, lower down midway, this purple one right here, it'll be higher in volume, because I obviously see I have other stacks that I've duplicated to give it its full volume. But nonetheless, there are some very subtle but important things that's going on here. So we'll even take this starting phrase and we'll just simply mute the lead and anything else so we can hear what this is doing. I'll even mute the beat.
As I stand alone in this mirror,
Thing in me,
as I stand alone in this mirror,
thing in me.
Just give it a little texture. Mirror. It just gives a little grit to the end of the word. because you see that the fader is riding it to where you're not really hearing it until the word mirror. Cool. Let's hear it one more time.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself.
Same over here.
And I'm a grown man, open spoken laws.
I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
And I'm a grown man, open spoken.
Now I have a deep voice going on over here.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
Right, so I just pitched that down on some words just to give it some harmony, just to give it some texture. Let's take a listen.
Wouldn't let me love nobody else. Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
And I'm a grown man, open spoken.
Subtle, not really heard, but definitely felt. And then we have something that happened at the end of the hook. We're going to not deal with that. I had a one-worder. It was just saying one word here. The word hurt. Let's mute the lead and the beat. Just adding distortion on that word hurt to just give it a little bit more emotion. Let's listen one more time. Just gives it a little extra grit. Again, we had these that we played before, but now I've added a few extra textures. Let's see, this one I would have to play to tell you exactly what it's doing. I think it's pitched up high.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt.
And I just have it tucked in low.
And I'm a grown man, open spoken laws, but I'm
damn to myself. That just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt.
Cool. The only thing you don't hear that you heard before was these delays that are in here. Listen carefully for these delays.
As I stand alone in this mirror, looking down to myself. That just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through.
Cool. So now, like these ad libs he had just was here at the end, at the part here.
Come around.
All right, so we're almost done with this quick mix. Only a few more things. Once we got the bus all together, we got our vocals, our effects bus together. We have our parallel compressor that's been on the whole time, but it's okay. Let's just listen to what the parallel is doing by itself. That parallel compressor is just simply allowing it with what it's doing in this type of mix. I would just want to add to let anybody know, because you can use parallel compression for different type of things. You could use it for tone, texture, grit. In this case, it is being used to where no matter how you turn your volume knob on this mix, when you listen to it as super quiet, or if you listen to it on super loud, the vocal will always at least be a certain volume. So there are situations in a mix like this, if you turn it down quite a bit, that the vocal begins to get lost as you turn the music way down. In this scenario, you can turn the music relatively close to the, quietest setting and still be able to articulate the vocals and what's going on with the vocal performance because of where the parallel compression is what it's doing and where it's sitting in the mix. All right, so now we're going to take a look at this mix on this hook bus. And this is where I'm blending all of the things that I feel like, all the vocals that have come through that bus. That was everything under this umbrella as it collapsed. So from here all the way to here, all of those vocals need to have some type of gluing to just fit together. Some are left, some are right, some are distorted, some are pitched down, some are pitched up, some are delayed. I want all of them to have some sort of cohesion. And so this is where I chose this Tokyo Dawn's compressor that is free, that is really just doing a little bit of gluing. Let's take a listen to what it's doing. All right, so again, everything that I do, as y'all start to see, is just here, there, a little bit at a time, and it just begins to come together. And then the last compressor that I have is just make sure I'm pretty much giving it I'm giving it almost 4 dBs of compression, but I'm also reducing the gain down by 4 to just kind of level it out exactly where I feel like I wanted it in this particular mix. And then I'll still mess with the faders afterwards. This is what happens. Let's take a listen.
In me. As I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Almost there. Just a note. We got the, this is the Abbey Road saturator on the effects bus as well, just to give it a little extra character. And then now we go into the all Vox bus, which only has this one EQ that is giving me some air and 0.5 dB here and a 0.5 dB there, just to really shape out my entire vocal performance on the track. And let's take a listen to what that's doing. Let's bypass.
In me. As I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Just add a little bit of air. I might add just even a little bit more air, actually. Then I add the Oxford inflator, which is giving me some bottom lift to make sure that the vocal doesn't get too quiet in our mix. Let's take a listen.
In me. As I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
And I'm a grown man, open spoken laws.
All right, I just threw on some fresh air, which is another free plugin. Just put a little 9% of whatever the percentage means in dBs. Don't know. Just pull it until you like where it sounds. And I did, and I stopped. I might even pull up some of this mid-air, and it may just be subtle, but I'll do that, and then we'll move on to the very last thing.
In me. As I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Cool. So as we go into the end here, I have a dummy bus, the bus 13. That's going to sidechain to track spacer, which is on the beat, which means that I am going to carve out space for my vocal to be able to be heard on top of this beat. And you'll see as I play, what you see ducking down on the graph is the beat reducing volume in these spectrums in this frequency area to the, specifically to the voice.
In me. As I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs,
Cool. One little note about this beat. I gave it a little bit of sub, as I mentioned to y'all before, but remember the vocal was already baked into this beat. So a very important thing to do when you have a situation like this is to be sure that your cutoff point is where that vocal cannot be picked out, because you start adding subharmonics and stuff to try to add to the beat, and now you have the distortion coming from the vocal also baked in, which is just all ugly. So now I have my, my mix volume. This controls the volume going into my master chain or my mix bus, which I just reduced it a few dB because I wanted to give myself a little headroom for my makeshift mastering, which consists of this. And I say makeshift mastering because I don't want to go through the trouble of really mastering the song until I had the approval of the client. But I do want to get this song at a certain loudness so they can hear it and hear the fullness of what the mix is sounding like and whether they agree to that. And then I'll go, and my master won't sound a whole lot different than what this will sound like, but this is just a get you to the certain loudness level first, approve the mix, then we'll work on getting the song mastered. So I have the side cut off at about 85 hertz, the side image dipped out about 278, about 2 dB, and almost 4 dB at 3K. Just didn't like that at all there for this song. And then we move forward to a C4, which is just shaping the entire track. Let's take a look.
In me, as I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
It's kind of controlling my low end over here. This over here is just making sure my mids is where it needs to be.
In me, as I stand alone in this mirror,
that my highs are where it needs to be. And my super highs. I can probably give it a little compression.
That just crushing up my heart. Hey, Juice, let me know, sir. Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt. Didn't think that I would come around. And I'm a grown man, open.
Cool. After that is just 2 limiters. One limiter is getting about almost 3 decibels, but barely kissing the limiting. Let's take a look. This here is where you'll see the limiter being activated. Let's see how much.
In me, as I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing.
0.1, 0.3, 0.6, barely activating the limiter. Perfect, how I like it. Then I just throw my last limiter on, getting another 2.8 dB. And that's the God particle.
In me,
so let's take them off real quick so we can hear what the mix sounds like without any limiting.
In me, as I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself.
First limiter.
That just crushing up my heart.
Second limiter.
Let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound.
And I just checked this. Make sure that my loudness is within a range that I am comfortable with. Usually it is, just because the consistency of it is you mix a certain way, you get to a certain result, and it usually gets you at a certain range. But typically that range is generally between a -11 LUFS to -9 LUFS for this particular get it to the client mix. I'm going to try to push it as loud as it possibly can go without it sounding bad. Once the mix gets okay, like if we can get it to -6, great. And if we could push it that hard, generally speaking, is not the case. It's going to be somewhere within the same range that it was when we went through this process. So let's just give it a quick little run of where it's sitting at, and then that'll be it for today's quick mix.
In me, as I stand alone in this mirror, thinking damn to myself, that just crushing up my heart.
Hey, Juice, let me know, sir.
Between the ups and downs, and the silence, the sound. I done been through so much hurt, didn't think that I would come around.
Cool. So long term looks like we was hitting our target, -10. We hit as high as -7.3, and we never went over our true peak value of 0.3, and that is pretty much all she wrote. That's gonna get emailed off, wait for a response, and from there you just make your revisions and hope for the best. Outside of that, that is going to wrap up the quick mix for today's show, and we're gonna take it back to Taking Thursday Back, where we take Thursday back one Thursday at a time. Till next time, I'm out.
Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Q Lounge. And since we was just on a little bit of R&B with that sample of the R. Kelly song When a Woman's Fed Up, let me bring to your attention about this tour that I'm very excited about, which is the Boy Is Mine tour with Brandy and Monica. That song, I believe, is almost 30 years old. And if you love R&B like I do, you're going to want to jump on that tour. What's up, fellas?
We on that tour, bro?
Y'all trying to take y'all lady to that tour?
Here we go.
I don't know if my lady is that era.
It's gonna be
Some
Kelly
other
Rowland on this
Yeah.
tour. I believe Money Long is on this tour, and the dude that just won American Idol.
When we was like teens, right?
Money Long got songs out right now.
No,
Hours and Numbers.
I'm talking about the
The headliners,
Yeah.
Brandy and Monica. I
Yeah.
mean, they started when
what
they
would
was
you
young.
consider? What would you consider like where that age group? Like, what year would you have been born where you missed the Brandy Monica train?
80 babies.
Nah, like 2000s.
Okay. So 96 still cut it. I'm gonna ask her when she get home. If you're watching, you want to go to the tour,
right? Because I believe the song came out in '98. So she might not be privy to that song, but I'm sure she knows Brandy and Monica.
she knows them, but I meant like more so in that, like, for instance, my kids watch Disney shows and shit.
Right.
I know of some of these people, but they wasn't the Disney kids that I grew up with. Like, I don't care about them like they care about them.
Well,
so I wonder what that cutoff was, where it's like how we were with Nickelodeon, where it's like I'm no longer watching Double Dare. Like I'm out of that phase.
Right.
Because there's definitely a cutoff. But I would probably say, like, you're probably about right. Probably like a good 2000 or so. Because they had a run. Like that song may have came out, in 98, but like for at least 10 years they was relevant.
Yeah, Ariana Grande did a remix with them of that same song. So she might have heard the Ariana Grande version. But it's still good music. It's a good night out. I'm definitely going to try to be in the place for sure. Because
if I didn't make it to Wu-Tang, I ain't going, no.
Look, if
it
they
will be a nice concert, though.
If they do Indiana, I'll go.
I'm sure they probably going to try to
I don't know if I'm doing Chicago. I just don't like going out. I don't like going out.
I feel you. It'll be a good date night. It's R&B music, man. Who's shooting at an R&B concert?
It's a new age, man. Like it's
like, Brown and Trey songs.
But
for you outside the concert, like
listen, it's gonna be a bunch of ladies.
No, I feel you. I feel right. Who's shooting the ladies? I mean, again,
I might go. I might go.
Audio manipulator, you need to go.
I might go, man.
We need to find that cop that you ain't gonna never see again.
Man. Front row, shorty, here I come.
Straight up. Well, I'm gonna see, where they gonna be. I'm gonna see if my lady I was just it's ironic because I was just actually having this conversation like an hour before we got on, and was just like, we've been working so hard with Mix Squad. We've been doing we've been grinding, trying to make sure that we provide a good product, make sure that we provide a good community, that I ain't really put nothing into my relationship lately. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I owe you. I know you a night out. I know, like, I owe you something. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't know what to put my finger on because we kind of laid back people. So like even that, it's just like, well, what we go do? Like,
That's a good
you wanna
date night.
you wanna take a rendezvous in the car and go spin in the block and put the seats down, look at the stars, because that's the lame type of shit we do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Have a little champagne.
For real.
We
It's
frugal
about the
people.
quality time more than anything.
Straight up. But yeah, no, for sure. Thank you for that nugget. If you're listening, look into your cities near you. It could be a great night out with the lady, the fella, whatever your choice of person is.
Absolutely. Support the queens of R&B.
Absolutely. Same way that we here at the Mix Squad support the queen, the mix queens, the artist queens, the queens of everything. Oh, you see the shirt. Oh, you gotta show them the shirt. You gotta show them the shirt. Mix queens. Get your mix queen shirts. All the ladies out there. And then if you join the squad soon, come into the squad. We will have the squad shirts available for all squad members. I think that's it for the night, y'all. I think we've done another Thursday. We still trying to take over Thursday, one Thursday at a time. And for that, I got 3 words for y'all.
Join the squad.
Join the squad. I'm trying to not get demonetized before we get monetized. You know what I'm saying?
Do what I want to do, so join the squad.
We out of here.
Did it again, Alex. Give me more. Okay, cash at hand. That's the motto, that's the plan. Got a whole lot of loot. Check my status, that's the brand. Boy, stop playing. Money so long, broke them rubber bands in the jam. I'll be damned if I fuck with Uncle Sam. I be spazzing on the beat. I go thermal on them niggas. I'm absorbing all the heat. Oh, salty ass niggas be thinking that it's sweet. Oh, dusty ass niggas in the presence of the lead. Salute. Yeah, we looking for recruits. Join the squad, get you open, corner 3, 2, 1, shoot. Don't be scared, come prepared, and we keep you in the loop. Get you squared, let's repaired, and we accept you as a